Hello everyone. Today I just wanted to do a quick overview of setting up Deus-Hex and just showing you some of the very basic features so you understand how to use it and why it's worth using. Especially if you're currently using LNZ Pro regularly, then I would really highly recommend switching to Deus-Hex. There's really no learning curve to go from LNZ Pro to Deus-Hex. So the first thing you're going to want to do is download Deus-Hex. This is my website. I will leave a link in the description. You just go here, download Deus-Hex, and let it download. I have already tried to film this once before, so that's why I have a previous download there. So I want to show you this part because it's probably going to give you a warning like this. So you're going to need to keep and then click on this little arrow and keep anyway in order to download the file. And once that's done, just click open file and install it. It's very quick installer process. And then you can launch Deus-Hex for the first time. So when you launch Deus-Hex for the very first time, it's not going to look like this. It's going to have something that looks somewhat like this on the screen. And it's going to prompt you to drop your Petz folder into the box. It's actually probably going to be in light mode when you get started. So it'll look something like this. You don't have to do this part. You can just skip it and still use the editor and everything, but some features will not be available to you if you do that, and I would highly recommend that you do. So it's very simple. You just drag and drop it in and you're done. Just click save, and then you will have access to all your resources like this. I'm going to just switch back to night mode, dark mode, because I prefer it. So this just gives you access to all your different files. I'm not going to go into detail with this right now. You can explore this stuff on your own, but it's just the actual files in your game. And you can also check what different IDs there are for your clothes and change them and useful things like that. I'm going to do a separate video focused more on clothing and making clothing items, because this gives you a way to rename clothes without having to go through the lengthy process that we're accustomed to, and it also gives you a quick way to convert adballs and lines from a breed into a clothing item, which I think is really fun and easy to use. So I'll go through that in a different video, but today we're going to just focus on breed file editing. So once you've got everything set up, you're going to want to start a new project. So what you want to do, you're not going to have all these files, obviously. These are all my hex files. You're going to click on New Project, and you can either find the file or drag and drop a file into here. So I'm just going to drag and drop my file that I usually use, and I'm going to just name it tutorial and save. So now if I sort by the project creation date, I will have this file at the top. You can also do it in reverse order. If I do it by name, then obviously it's not going to be at the top because it's in alphabetical order. And then last modified, it again won't be at the top because the original file is not recent. So here's my tutorial file. I can also open the folder that contains all of these, and you can see them all here. And I can navigate to the folder itself and look at temporary backups. There aren't any yet because I haven't edited the file. Previous versions, this is actually just my original base file that I've just put in. So there's always a backup there for you to revert to if you want to. And then there's the current version, which right now obviously is exactly the same because I haven't made any changes to it yet. So this is the file that I'm actually going to be editing right now. It's in this location, so you're not editing something directly inside your game, you're editing it here. And if you open this file in PetWorkshop, which I will show you in a moment, you have to open it from this location. So I'm going to open this now in the editor. And this is like the very special feature, I guess you call it, of Deus-Hex is this editor. This editor has lots of different commands. I don't even know them all. Different key maps, different things you can do that will speed up your process a lot, especially if you're currently using LNZ Pro and you're accustomed to changing numbers one at a time, for example. You no longer need to do that, because here you can hold Alt and drag down and highlight the entire column and change it all at the same time. You can also obviously undo changes with Control Z in the normal way. You can also highlight entire rows. You can hold Shift and drag down and highlight rows. Like I said, I don't even know all of them. So you can click here and it'll take you to a website that describes the different things that this editor can do so that you can check. Another thing it can do is Control Find, so you can replace numbers or whatever you want. You can also select just one section and do find and replace, but then only replace all in the section. The other features it has that I think are particularly helpful when working in conjunction with PetWorkshop in particular is that it will remember any anchoring you've done. So if you've, obviously there's no anchoring here, but if you anchored your paint balls, it will remember that, and when you save in PetWorkshop, it's not going to remove them. It'll also do that for full outlines. So that's really useful, saves a lot of time. Doesn't add anything itself, it just remembers what you put in. So if we actually open this file in PetWorkshop, then I can show you a little bit what my workflow is like. So we're going to need to, first of all, go to Deus-Hex project, cat project, and then find the tutorial file. Where is it? And then it's the current version we want. I'm going to open that. I'll change it to apply changes. Basically all the stuff that you would normally do to set up PetWorkshop still applies, but you just need to make sure that you're editing the file in the correct location. And now I have it open in both places. So I will show you now. If I make a change here, say I color the tail green, and I save, it automatically updates in Deus-Hex. So my changes will now be here. My tail, if I go to the ball section and look at the tail, is now all colored 134, so green. That means that you don't have to keep loading in Deus-Hex, you just have to remember to load in PetWorkshop when you make changes here. And what it has also done is created an external change backup. So this backup is what the file was like when I last saved it in PetWorkshop. And what this kind of gives you is a way to almost have an undo button in PetWorkshop. So as long as you save frequently, it will update in Deus-Hex and it will create an external change backup, and you can revert to a previous one. It only saves 3 because I felt more than that is a bit excessive, but you can always revert back to one of the previous 3. I have found that really helpful. Occasionally, if I've just made a mistake in PetWorkshop, I will quickly go and revert to a previous version, and it feels like I have an undo button. Another thing you can do is you can save a backup here. So that's like a manual backup save, and it just saves whatever is currently here. And you will find that in the previous version. So V1 is the save I just made. So it'll have a green tail. It's what I just saved now. And you can also see these are the temporary backups that are the external change backups. So these are only changes you've made in programs outside Deus-Hex. So it will also work, I believe, if you make a change in LNZ Pro. Anytime you're editing this particular file directly from an external program, it will save, it will register that as a backup, and it'll update in here as well. Okay, other things that are worth mentioning are obviously there's all this labeling. You can obviously see the names of the balls and the color coding of them in the balls section. and the numbers are also listed here. You can also get the longer form of the name there. Additionally, if you go to the add bowl section and you find something that is based off a different bowl, so these are based off the nose bowl, you can click here, it tells you that they're based off the nose bowl, and the nose bowl is omitted because this is a cat and the original cats have the nose bowl omitted. So that's also shown to you visually by this being grayed out. This means these individual bowls are grayed out, but the add bowls are not. However, the ear bowls are entirely, the ear add bowls are entirely omitted in my file. If you see, it has no ears, it just has the base ear bowls. Additionally, if you create an add bowl, let's do that now. So let's do one off the tail like this, and I'll just save that. It will show up here. It gives you the number of the add bowl. So this is now add bowl 92, which I find immensely helpful when doing things like mirroring, or even just if you're just trying to keep track of how many add bowls you have, then it's so useful to have the actual number here, and you don't have to count down. It also tells you that it is based off of tail 4. So if I add another one based off of that one and save, again, it's going to update here automatically. Now you see this is gray, and that's because it's not based off the base bowl, it's based off an add bowl. And if I click here, it actually gives me a little like family tree, if you like. It tells me where that bowl is descended from. So it'll show me that it's based off, this 93 is based off add bowl 92, and 92 is based off the tail bowl number 46. So just to illustrate that a little bit more, if I keep doing this, let's try not to crash PetWorkshop in the process. Then if I click this one, you see that you get the entire tree all the way back, or the entire lineage all the way back. If you omit something, let's say I omit these tail bowls, then in the lines you can see that they're omitted. So this is very helpful if you hit the line limit. I hit the line limit quite frequently. This is going to show you which lines you can safely delete, which is very, very handy. It's also really great in that if you've ever encountered that issue where when you put a clothing item on your hex, it creates a strange line. That happens when you have a line that doesn't connect to anything. So if I turn this into like 97, I don't think, do I have a bowl 97? No, I don't. Okay. It'll show me an error because 97 doesn't exist. So you can really easily pick out if there's a mistake somewhere because it'll do that for you. Equally, if you base an add bowl on an impossible bowl, so for example, I base this add bowl off itself, it's number 96, so it can't be based off 96, then it will show you an error. So those are all kind of some basic features that it has, really helpful. Let me also show you, if I add some paint bowls to this quickly, and save, and then jump down to my paint bowl section, then I can just quickly texture and anchor them. And now I'm going to save. I haven't been saving up until now because I haven't been making any changes in here, but now that I've made a change, I need to save, and I need to reload it here just to show you. So it's here. Let's now make some changes in here. I'm going to just omit this as well, and I will save. And now you see it has said that it reapplied the optional column, reapplied the anchoring and the texturing that I put in. Okay, So the final thing that I will mention is that you can export this file that you've been editing direct into the game. So if I press export current to game, what this has now done is replaced the orange short hair that's in my actual game with my edited file. So here it is. You can see it. I'll put it back. As long as you don't have an orange short hair out, that's something you can do while the game is open. You don't have to exit. I minimize just to prevent other pets from coming out, but you don't even need to minimize. So if I just reload this in case I made any changes, let me just add some, I don't know, let's color more of it just so that we can tell that there have been changes made, and I save. So I'm just going to show you what happens if you do have a pet out. So let's take an orange short hair out, and we save. Saving isn't a problem because remember, it's just saving what's in your actual Deus-Hex folder. It's not changing what's in the game. But if I try to export to game, it will give me this error. So to overcome this, we just have to put this pet away and then click continue, and now it's fine. It's been successfully copied to the game, and you can bring that cat out. So just bear that in mind. If you get that error, it means the breed file is in use. It can also be in use in the game. So if you had a pet out and you didn't put it away, but then you went to the adoption center, it might still give you that error. So just make sure that any pets with that breed file have been put away, and that you don't have anything out from that breed file, and then it'll work fine. That's exactly the same as it normally is with LNZ Pro as well. It's not any different. It's just I think sometimes people could get confused because you're exporting it from here and it feels a bit more detached. Okay. I think that is all I will be going through today. I hope I've demonstrated that it is super simple, really no learning curve to it at all. It is just the same as editing with LNZ Pro, just with a few extra easy features like quality of life kind of features, and obviously also helps organize your files and keep track of everything. So thank you very much for watching. If you have any questions, or you especially specific to Deus-Hex and you want me to go through something, please let me know, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.